take a look at this news right here. We've got the stock market. Actually, last I checked, we were up nearly 600. So I want to make sure that this data is fresh for you. I'm telling you, investors are really, really, really sort of buying into what the future is right here. And it's an exciting time. Wow. We need to change this, ladies and gentlemen. We are up. Look at that. Nearly 700 points on the Dow right now. The Dow gaining nearly 700 points, 42,293. Why? Because one, Donald Trump has indicated a willingness to work with Europe. They were supposed to have that June 1st tariff deadline, and they called him up, and he said, okay, I'll work with you. All right, so again, making a deal. We're getting closer to a deal with Europe on tariffs. And then two, consumer confidence. I mean, it blew me away. It didn't blow me away. I'll tell you, I think that people feel pretty good about things right now. And there was like a little rough period. And then all of a sudden, they saw egg prices coming down, and they saw grocery prices coming down, and they saw the stock market going up. And what do you know? Consumer confidence is back with a bang. And so people love this. Take a look at Donald Trump talking today about his discussion with Ursula von, the woman who runs the EU. And she asked for an extension on the tariff deal. And he said, okay.
She just called me, as you know, and she asked for an extension on the June 1st date. And she said she wants to get down to serious negotiation because I told you specifically, but I told anybody that would listen, they have to do that. And we had a very nice call, and I agreed to move it. I believe July 9th would be the date. That was the date she requested. Could we move it from June 1st to July 9th? And I agreed to do that. And that she said we will rapidly get together and see if we can work something out.
Wow. So they're working it out. Okay. So we get till July 9th or so. I really need to change this graphic. Look at this. We're up nearly 700 points. This is amazing. I mean, what are the Democrats going to do now? I mean, he's actually winning. Right? He's actually winning. He's been talking about the stock market. Letitia wants to sue him for that, believe it or not, because maybe 5-6 weeks ago he came out and he put a True Social post out when things were really dark and bad. And he's like, just buy stocks. And then the market's been rallying ever since. So somehow that's insider trading in her mind. Of course, I guess she didn't get the part in law school where they told you that insider trading is when it's inside information and you don't broadcast it to the world like he did on social media. But anyway, here he is over in Saudi Arabia. He said it in the Oval Office. He's like, buy stocks. This is like a rocket ship. And then he said it again last week in Saudi Arabia. Take a listen.
Amazing what a rising market will do. Oh, it's going to get a lot higher. In fact, I told people 5 weeks ago, this is a great time to buy. I got criticized for that. Now they don't criticize me anymore. People should have listened. But it's going to go a lot higher. You're going to see, we've never had anything like this happen. It's an explosion of investment and jobs, and great companies are coming in.
These are coming in, and we're going to have more investment. And you know what? That begets more good stuff. So it's win, 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 win. If you haven't seen it by now, I have a financial research company, and we're doing really well, all right? This is actually a little bit outdated, but take a look at those portfolios. The income builder portfolio is all about making sure that you can retire one day. Dividend stocks there. American Resilience is all about capturing that growth. Inflation protection is a little bit like that income builder portfolio. And let me just point out, more good stuff is coming. So he's saying, listen, you should be investing. I can't stress that enough. You do need to be investing. So if nothing else, you know what you need to do? Just go to 76research.com. Use code word dollar so that you at least are getting the basic report. We have a lot of great ideas in there. We've got something coming out on Bitcoin pretty soon, again, because there's a big Bitcoin conference going on in Vegas. And I know, Don, you hate it, but I'm telling you, it's part of the future. Like the tokenization that's going on, and when you look at the technology behind all of this, I actually think, I don't believe in these meme coins. They're like stickers to me. when kids used to trade stickers, but the technology on some of these blockchains are pretty incredible. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day you start seeing actual companies being traded on these blockchains. I digress, but there's a lot there, and I encourage you to do the research and to take a look at us over at 76research.com. But moving on to more good news, I would say this, a big part of what you're seeing in the stock market today, it was evidenced by polls recently, right? I mean, because I think people are starting to buy into this. They like the fact that Donald Trump is sticking up for them. They don't like the fact that AOC is sticking up for people who may be members of gangs and the Trump administration wants deported. So you're seeing this shift. Consumer confidence coming in today at a tremendous number, up 12.3 points from where it was last month, and way outpacing what people thought. I think analysts were looking for around 86, and we came in around 98, so like huge consumer confidence surge. All of this is because people believe in what this administration is doing. So that's bad news for the Democrats, right? Really bad news for the Democrats. And according to the New York Times, they're actually like sweating bullets. They're sweating bullets. I mean, I read something today where Rahm Emanuel, remember him from Chicago and Obama? Rahm Emanuel is like, the Democrat Party is too woke. I'm like, excuse me? Rahm? That's you? Yeah, well, that's all they got right now, right? So they're trying to figure out, how do we get back all these people we lost, including all the young men? They're going to spend $20 million. I'm going to tell them it's not enough because you have ostracized men and young men. You've told them over and over again, they're the problem. It's the white man that's the problem, right? It's the cops that are the problem. It's the working man that's the problem. And you know what? They're like, fine. You think we're the problem? We don't need to have any part of you. And we're not going to have any part of you. And so this is what the party is going through. There's this like magnification of America right now, and the Democrats don't know what to do about it. But, look, they're doubling down on stupid. Just watch that ABC morning show, The View, and you'll see it. Here's Joy Behar trying to drive a wedge in the country again, saying that she hates MAGA supporters so much that if she was like dying, and there was a MAGA person in the room that could save her, she'd die.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't even let him give me a Heimlich maneuver. Yeah. That's how little I feel about people. I don't know.
Well, and a MAGA supporter is like
calling you right now.
I got it.
Somebody's.
I fixed it.
Tell that MAGA man, leave you alone.
I'm not sleeping with you anymore.
I mean, it's a horrible show. It needs to come off the air. We can talk about Disney tomorrow some more, but gosh, I mean, they're part of the problem, right? So you have this media that doesn't quite know what to do because, by the way, they were so involved in the cover-up of the Joe Biden health scandal, and now they're still clinging to these ideals. Meanwhile, you get this new crop of people, whether it be AOC or Jasmine Crockett, salivating at their opportunity to take down Trump. And it's like, guys, you don't get it. People don't want him taken down. Jasmine?
So long as we end up taking the House, which I fully anticipate that we will do, and we are going to work hard to obviously help our Senate colleagues as well, then as someone who serves on the Oversight Committee and hopes to lead the Oversight Committee, I can guarantee you that we will do what we are supposed to do as constitutionally sworn members of the House, which means that we will conduct oversight. That means that we will investigate. We will look at whether or not this president himself has violated the Emoluments Clause as it relates to, say, such things as getting a $400 million plane from the Qataris. We also will make sure that we're looking into all these business deals that they have going on. I mean, think about it this way, Alex. They were going after Hunter because he sat on a board. Think about how much money they are raking in, whether we're talking about the next golf resort that they're setting up in Qatar, or whether we're talking about them leveling Gaza, as they've talked about, and talked about how it would be great beachfront property. Because let me tell you, there is no shortage of things for us to dig into and determine whether or not there have been not only violations of the law, but definitely violations of our Constitution as a whole.
Well, it would be great beachfront property, right? As for the other stuff, look, I've said this before. I said this back in 2016. The difference between Donald Trump and any other president that we had in recent history is the guy runs a business, like a really big international business. And you can't exactly just turn the business off just because you're president. No, you turn it over to your kids. And so sure, it presents for some stickier issues, don't get me wrong, but you can't shut down the business. And so it's a very different situation than, say, Hunter Biden, who had no business, right? Suddenly getting gigs to the tune of $600K a year to sit on a board for Burisma, a now defunct natural gas energy company, while Daddy, as vice president of the United States, was in charge of Ukraine energy policy. That's completely different than Eric Trump, who is the CEO of his family's company that has business dealings all over the world and cannot shut down just because Dad became president. I mean, it's just a different animal entirely. We're not looking at oranges to oranges. Hunter did bad stuff. Very different situation with the Trump family. Mass purge going on that we got to talk about there at the NSC. And you know what? It had to happen. It's not getting a lot of coverage other than from yours truly. But before we do, you know, we're fully independent on this show. So who do we love? We love our sponsors, including our friends over at Balance of Nature, balanceofnature.com. I encourage you to go there, 1-800-246-8751. I know Leslie takes it. She's told me already. I take it. I take the fruits and veggies every day. And it's been a game changer for me in terms of my vitamin D levels, which were sadly pretty low, pretty darn low. It's part of living in the Northeast. And, you know, every time I go in the sun, I get more freckles or a burn. So that doesn't work out that well for me. So I often avoid the sun. And so I need to make sure I get my vitamin D in other ways. And these guys have been great. You can get this as well. Thank you so much, Charlotte. I want to get back to your comment. Appreciate it. You can get this as well. Go to balanceofnature.com, 35% off with code Trish. So use the code. It helps me. It helps you. And you get free shipping and you get a money back guarantee. So no harm, no foul. All really, really great. Charlotte, are you going to tell me you take this stuff too? Thank you for your comment. She's writing here that thank you from Oregon. I don't know how you live in Oregon. I don't know. I hope it goes red, Charlotte writes. You know, I think Oregon is a pretty, it's a challenging place, I would imagine, to live as somebody who is a conservative for sure.